I'm Simon Taufel, former ICC international cricket umpire. I'd love to be able to work with you and your team to share the experiences of high performance sport by working with major cricket coaches, elite players, cricket umpires. I've seen the best of elite sport and also the worst. I'd love to be able to show you and work with you around the soft skills, to be able to show you the performance gaps, what's worked, what hasn't worked, what it takes to get to the top, and more importantly, what it takes to stay there. Sustainable success through integrity, sustainable success through leadership, but more importantly, walking the talk. Number one, what does the game expect? Number two, what happens if we do nothing? And number three, are we playing the ball or playing the man? And I don't mean to be gender specific about that, but are we focusing on the issue or are we focusing on the person? Yes, we want to win. Yes, winning is important, but how we carry ourselves is just as important. So in terms of leadership, again, that's an outcome of what do we mean by leadership, and there are so many different types and so many different variables of what good leaders are, and there are so many different styles of leadership. But for me, the most important part of leadership is about serving others. It's about supporting other people and supporting your people to achieve their potential. If you get the processes right every day, every week, every month, your month-end figures will take care of themselves if you believe in the process and you've got the right process in place.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Hello.
Consul General, distinguished guests, great to be with you. Students in the room, put your hand up please. Wonderful. Thank you for making the effort. Please don't leave the room tonight without taking something of importance away with you. Don't waste the investment of your time by not taking one nugget of gold away that you can try and apply. So I've got about 10 minutes with you to share a couple of main messages and stories that hopefully will inspire and motivate a bit of a shift in behaviour. You talked about the 3 C's, love the 3 C's. I'm going to mention the 4 C's in a second. I come from the university or the School of Life. Yes, I did go to university and attempted a Bachelor of Business degree, which I didn't complete. What I've learned through sport is the hardest word that you need to learn to put into action to get better is the word no. Saying no to things that aren't consistent with your goals or objectives. And for the Indians in the room, the Indian students in the room, sometimes that might mean, dare I say, saying no to your parents. With respect. Because you need to take control of your future. I've spoken to around about 10 or 12 various institutions and learning education facilities in India, IITs, universities, etc. And I know that most of you are probably doing engineering because that's what your parents want you to do. Or you're doing law or medicine because that's what your parents want you to do. It's really important to do what you love and love what you do. You will achieve far more success when you're passionate about your subject and about why you're doing that. So it's really important for you to find your why. And I would love you to think about the soft skills. So in cricket, we have hard skills. They're pretty easy. Decision making. And in the subcontinent, most people judge umpires by how many decisions they get right. I've been a cricket umpire, I've been a cricket selector. For me, the hard skills are a given. They're a given. You need to have those talents and abilities. But it's the stuff on the right-hand side, it's the soft skills that make the difference. And isn't it funny that most educational institutions don't teach the soft skills? I would encourage you to keep working on your soft skills. How you communicate, what sort of person are you, what value do you bring to the team and what value do you bring to the community? And more particularly, I'll get to that. Okay, straight through to the 4 C's. More particularly, your values. Are you living your values? Are you actually living and being authentic? And I'll get to that in a second. So, Dr. the 4 C's here, the competency capabilities, they will get you the job interview. When you pass your course, when you get your certificate, when you are qualified in that degree, that will get you, hopefully, the job interview. But it's the other two, character and chemistry, that will probably get you the job. What do I mean by character? Any ideas? This is the audience participation part. Personality, bit, yes. Attitude. Big on attitude, absolutely.
Moral values.
Values, but what sort of values?
Moral values.
Moral values.
Yeah, ethics.
Ethics. So the character is who you are. What do you do? What do you bring to the table? Attitude's a fantastic example. Work ethic. Priorities. Yep. Passion. Work ethic. All of that. That's what's going to get you the job. And the other one is the chemistry. Do you fit the team, and does the team fit you? Because it's both got to work. So it's almost like going to someone's house and not bringing something to the table, not bringing a dish. You need to bring something to the table. You need to add some value. If you're going to join a team and just take all the time, that's not sustainable. So yeah, think about the 3 C's, but also think about those 4 C's. Next slide, please. Next slide. Integrity. Show you a quick video here. Everybody just watch. You might remember this, 2018. It's Australia playing in South Africa. It's actually the 2nd test of the series. And it involves 3 cricketers, we think. Maybe more. We don't know yet. We're waiting for David Warner's book to come out eventually. But you might remember this that happened in Cape Town. I was working for Cricket Australia when this was going down. I was selection manager for all the umpires and managing the match referees. And when this story broke, this deliberate attempt to cheat, I was very much ashamed to wearing the Cricket Australia coat of arms on my chest. It was a sad day for cricket, and more particularly, it was a sad day for Australian cricket. A brand and a reputation that everyone had worked really hard to build, right from the days of Mark Taylor, Steve Waugh, Ricky Ponting, etc. And it all came crashing down in one day. One day, one act. Reputations take a long time to build like a house. And you can lose them in an instant by making one dumb decision. So think about your brand as students. Think about what you stand for, and think about the way you're going to carry yourself amongst your group, your community, and your university. Because just like me, when I walk out there, I represent my family, I represent my fraternity, but I also represent Cricket Australia, the ICC. When you walk out there, you're representing your university, your family. So it's really important for you, remember that word? No. To say no to things and no to temptations that aren't consistent with your brand. Next slide. Good idea. Leadership. I'll show you 3 cricketers. The first one you should know very well. Virat Kohli. I met with Virat Kohli after they won the Test series for the first time in 71 years. And Virat said these things. These were his main messages, not mine, but his. So have a look at them. Be yourself. That's a great piece of advice. I would say be yourself, but just be better. Be yourself, but just be better. Always look for room for improvement, and always challenge and stretch yourself to go that extra step further. Lead by example. Look at Virat Kohli's fitness. Look at the way that he approaches the game. You will not find a greater example of someone who leads by example on the field. And for the young people in the audience, or younger, who are very much tech savvy, it might surprise you to know that when I asked him
do you talk to your video analysts all the time about the batters, the bowlers, etc.? He says, no, I tend not to look at the video stuff. I tend to use my gut and my cricket brain, because when I'm out on the field, I don't have the video analysis next to me. So I think about ways that I can work the batter out, that I can strategise based on what I think, and then go to the technology. So don't get lazy with technology. Technology should be there to support you, not replace you. The other thing I want you to think about with MS Dhoni, MS Dhoni, tremendously cool and calm under pressure. Why? Because he has a tremendous inner self-belief about his ability to do it for himself, but to more importantly do it for the team. Composure under pressure. We all do exams. Breathe, read the question, answer the question. That's all you have to do. Composure. You'll find yourself a worse performer when you let pressure get to you than if you just breathe, read the question, answer the question. Pretty simple. The guy on the right who's about to come up, Mahela Jayawardena, I love him as a leader because he does one thing very well. He takes responsibility for his team. When his team wins, he gives credit to the batters and the bowlers. When his team loses, he takes responsibility and says, maybe I should have done some things differently. Think about that as a concept. Okay, and to finish off with, have a look at these descriptives up here. The best leaders that I've found in the world of cricket and sport are genuine. They are people who are authentic and are being themselves. They're not pretending to be other people. They're vulnerable. In the Indian community, my experience has been that you are less likely to admit failures and shortcomings. The best and the fastest way that you can grow and improve is to take responsibility for your own mistakes and admit shortcomings. That needs to be practiced. That's hard. When I make a mistake, millions of people get to see it. Okay? Millions of people get to see it. But be vulnerable. Trust. If you haven't got a coach, the comfort the troubled and trouble the comfortable. If you don't have a coach, if you don't have a mentor, the best advice I can get you is find one. Find someone who's going to push you and someone who's going to comfort you. When you get into trouble, you need a mate. When you're cruising, you need somebody to push you. Selfless. Give more than you take. There's a lot of people going to talk up here tonight. I don't think any of us are getting paid for our time tonight, are we? We're freely giving. Freely giving. So the best thing you can do, the best way you can thank us, is to take the information away and do something with it. And honesty is the best policy. Please be fair income, the Australian term. Please be fair income, and please make sure that you tell the truth and be honest with yourself. Every game I do a self-assessment, and I have to be honest with myself, my coach, and with the process. And lastly, are there any quick questions in the room? Who's going to win the World Cup? Who's your favourite player? Normally what I get. Any questions from the students? It's like an option. The first one's the hardest one. No? Well, good. Okay. Thank you for listening, and good luck with your education. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon.
That's okay. Sorry, one more thing I forgot. I do have one copy of my book available for the students. And I'm happy to give away one copy to the student who answers the first question that I'm about to ask correctly. And I'll make it multiple choice. Just like an exam, isn't it? Okay, so before I give you multiple choice, how many test matches have I done? Does anyone know the answer to that question? All right, now the multiple choice then. Answer 1, 64 test matches. Answer 2, 74 test matches. Answer 3, or C, 94 test matches. 74. Gentleman down the back, what's your name? Nadeem, you see me at the end of tonight and I'll give you a book, okay?